Hey friends, Lauree here from the breathing room. I wanted to record this video. I did a fancy presentation and the internet kept cutting out. So I'm like, you know what? I am just going to go home and do it from the couch and let it be imperfect. So today I am bringing you the first video for the Smart Savvy series. And it's all about the self-sabotaging habits that I had created for myself and kind of got me into a pickle. So today I want to share with you the series about imposter syndrome. Um, these are stories of self-sabotage, and the good news is these are habits that we can actually unlearn, because guess what? They keep kicking us in the ass. So let's redefine what they look like, and don't let your past define your future. A few new beliefs and your future will be redefined. So let's talk about my imposter syndrome to start with. So in my 30s, at the peak of my career as a state manager, standing in front of a room filled with strangers, feeling the blood draining from my face, trying to present something that someone else had prepared for me, and I had no bloody idea what I was doing. And I just wanted to be swallowed up by the ground. I have had the same feeling sitting at my kitchen table in 2019 with my laptop open, ready to hit go on my first Facebook Live as a budding life coach. And then, it came again, like just 5 months ago when I opened up the studio for 9D breathwork and for healing and growth coaching. So the self-doubt never stops when you are getting in the ring, when you're busting out of your comfort zone and you're flexing your newly attained identity as a person who wants more from life. But you've got big dreams. Like, seriously, you've got big dreams, you've got goals, you've got desires, but fuck me. Like, and if you're one of my people, like, you will like the fuck. So imposter syndrome feels like the heaviest burden to lift until I started noticing the pattern. And then I really understood why it kept happening and how I could have it show up, but not cause me to go into like fetal position and end up rocking in a corner. Look, you know what? It still shows up, but no longer like sits on a table in front of me with its feet up on the table, smoking a cigar, looking down at me, thinking it's calling the shots. No, sorry. I figured it out, right? I have figured out the pattern that keeps me in imposter syndrome, kind of the cycle. So the pattern for me, I put myself into a position where I am seen and heard. I have really shitty thoughts about myself. My nervous system goes offline. My performance stutters along. Then I get some evidence to prove one's shitty thoughts about not being good enough in the first place to be there. So here we go. On the self-fulfilling prophecy of imposter bullshit, like the bandwagon that we go on, then I tap out, I backtrack, I quit, I resign, I burn shit down, I look for shiny objects, and metaphorically, I go into a hole until the coast is cleared. Some may actually call this a vulnerability hangover. And most of the time, I don't even notice where I'm sabotaging something that could be amazing. So here's how I've changed my relationship with imposter syndrome. I now expect it to show up right on time. It's right at the junction where childhood beliefs and experiences meet my future self dreams. Second thing, I turn inward because both parts of me, childhood, the child, and then my future self, they believe two different things. My inner child believes it's not safe because she fears punishment for not being good enough. My future self has walked the path to where my current self is wanting to go. And she tells us that everything works out, maybe not as planned, but better than you could have ever imagined. Now, two very different belief systems colliding and causing friction. This is where the brain definitely thinks it needs to protect you. All right. So then incoming shutdown, 3, 2, 1. It doesn't matter how much future self work you do, because one belief system is much stronger than the other. And one experience is stronger than the other because one is laced with a slither of uncertainty. So to work on that part, here's what kind of my new thing for how to allow for self-doubt on steroids, because that really is what it is. Here's the things that I'm doing. Expect it to show up right on time. I stop long enough to be with it. So I'm not trying to run past it. When I stop, I process the emotion that I'm feeling, self-doubt on steroids. I try and ground myself, and I try and create safety signals between my body and mind, knowing that this too shall pass. That is a skill, learning how to stop and slow down, and one that we can all learn. The next thing I'm doing is, with a little bit of, joking, is to question my really shitty, laughable thoughts that I have about myself. Take a look from a higher self perspective and go, it's just not true. If my best friend was telling me that, or if I was telling that to my younger self, there's no way in hell I'd be saying that about myself. Let your desire be bigger than your fear. And the very first example that I was talking about being a state manager is be prepared, practice, and practice again. It is such an old saying, but it's true. Like anything, when you learn how to drive a car, when you learn how to do your first presentation, it's all about being prepared. The more prepared we are, the safer we feel. We have this safety net of, look, I've prepared as much as I can, but like an exam, I've prepared as much as I can. And even though I don't know the answers, I don't have to know all the answers. So just learn to have that beginner's mindset where we can tap into just being prepared and practice, 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 practice again. The more times you practice, all of a sudden, then you become a pro, and your imposter kind of like it dissolves as you get better and better at what you do. And all of a sudden, next skill, bring it on. Here comes the imposter syndrome again. And last but not least, the one that has resonated with me for the best part of the last 6 months is really connecting with your inner child. And if you've never done this work before, it's fine. It's not too scary. There's so many ways you can do with that. The first way is simply by just stopping and being present with your feelings. But yeah, when you connect with your inner child, someone made her believe that she wasn't good enough. If you can heal this relationship, the one that you have between the belief that someone didn't think you were good enough and the person that you are today being good enough, again, that junction, right? That junction of your childhood and your future self. If you can heal that relationship, all your other relationships will change too, because you'll start seeing them differently. You'll start seeing them from that higher perspective. You will start treating things like imposter syndrome as just another relationship that you get to look at, that you get to, play with curiously, and to see what kind of impact it's making in your life. So that's what came up for me with my imposter syndrome. Even just this week, it just keeps coming. Every time I grow, every time I bust outside that comfort zone, it is there, it is present, and it is telling me that there's something bigger coming. So keep going, my friend. Don't let imposter put its feet up at your table, smoke a cigar, and tell you any different other than you're fucking amazing, and just keep going. All right. I will be back with some more smart, savvy sabotage series. I'll see you again soon. Bye.